I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
Liz Truss quitting as British Prime Minister on Thursday after just 6 weeks in the job. She was brought down by an economic programme that sent shockwaves through financial markets last month and divided her Conservative Party. Speaking outside 10 Downing Street, Truss accepted she could not deliver the promises she made when running for the leadership.
I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
Truss will remain in office until a successor is chosen.
I give notice that Liz Truss is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. Liz, come up on stage.
She is the shortest-serving Prime Minister in British history. The sense of chaos at Westminster in recent days has been palpable. Earlier, Conservative Party officials had gathered at Downing Street, while a growing number of Truss's lawmakers called on her to quit. That after approval ratings for both her and the party collapsed. Last week, Truss was forced to sack her finance minister and closest political ally, Kwasi Kwarteng, and abandon almost all of her economic programme after their plans for vast underfunded tax cuts crashed the pound and British bonds. On Wednesday, she lost the second of the government's foremost senior ministers.
I have been very clear that
Faced jibes as she tried to defend her record to Parliament and saw her lawmakers openly quarrel over policy.
I have made mistakes.
We've got to get rid of her, haven't we? She's got to go. I mean, it's just such a nightmare. Everything that she promised, you know, her promise, everything she said has been a complete U-turn at best, or a lie at worst, and she stood for being honest.
I'm not sure it could get any worse, really. So I think that the issue is that they need to have some things that are in place that are stable, but Truss needs to go. I don't think she can create stability.
I don't think there is an ideal route out of this at the moment. I do think it is really destabilising to change leader again, but I don't feel like they've got much other option, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Conservative MPs will now begin throwing their hats in the ring to take a shot at the premiership. Early speculation suggests that some contenders from the previous election race earlier this year, including Rishi Sunak and Penny Mordaunt, will be in the running, as well as former Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
But this is, absolutely extraordinary to have a Prime Minister out within 2 months. All we know about how the next leader is going to be chosen is that the next leader will hopefully be in place by next Friday, because 3 days later, the government is due to deliver its fiscal statement, and it would be extraordinary to have that delivered. Big ramifications for the markets if we didn't know who was Prime Minister. That person who comes in will need to lay out their economic vision. And if we have another government that has not won a general election, the possibility of more gridlock is highly likely, and that's a big problem. They don't know the direction of policy, and that's a really big issue. The only way that will really be resolved is if you have another election, but at the moment the Conservative Party does not want to hold a general election because they know that they've basically faced complete wipeout.